Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 82 of Direwolf20's Age of Engineering series. Dun dun dun! Today, I have more automation to do with lots of different things. You can see I have my network tool on me. This is a nifty little gadget from Applied Energistics. It helps you figure out how much power you're using, among other things. So right now, my whole AE system all together is sitting around 150 RF a tick. And we checked this guy out. He's draining around 80 RF a tick. So pretty much half of my network drain, 80 RF a tick, getting drained from those crystal growth accelerators. And I got to thinking, 80 RF a tick, it's not really worth complaining about. Let's be honest. Like, 80 RF a tick, that's nothing for me at this stage of the game, right? Like, we're doing just fine. I think I can afford it. So rather than building a complex system that's going to involve, like, hey, do I check to make sure that there's items in this thing when I go to automate it? Meh. We'll just let it run all the time, and we'll live. And is it wasteful? Meh. To such a minor degree that I don't care. So there's lots of automation I want to get done. Like, so much that it's driving me nuts how much automation I want to do. And I want to start working towards, so I started flipping through the guide. My next chapter, so we did New Age, right? Like, we got through, I want to say we got through this. Like, technically it says you can build this thing to triple your ores with the electric crucible and the centrifugal solid. I don't know, do I need to do that? Maybe. I might look into it. I'd be interested to see how fast it is. So I might test it real quick in my single player world just to see if it's worth setting up. I also might want to look at boosting this bad boy. Like right now, he's a Void or Minor Controller Mark II. If I wanted to get a Mark III, we just need another Mark II, and we need some mica and clear lens and stable. Like all this stuff seems like within range of what I need to make, and that would speed up this production of passive resource collection, which I might also be interested in doing. We'll see. But the next stage, if we wanted to jump into Age 10, seems to be a little bit crazier. We get access to Neotech stuff, which turns us into the opportunity to get Tech Reborn's refined iron, which allows us to start making Tech Reborn stuff, which needs EU. RF support is disabled. So a lot of the recipes here and stuff that it looks like we're going to need to be doing, we might need to, look at all this complex stuff that it says I can do, starting like now. One thing, by the way, that I'm super uncomfortable at saying, and people have been telling me this in the comments all along, and I've been like hiding from it as a fact, but there's this thing called a vacuum freezer to cool tungsten, and it needs ice shards from bees. So we might work on bees at some point, and I know everybody's going to say, oh no, not the bees, but we'll do our best to make it entertaining. Promise, we'll do my best. But today I want to work on some stuff. So I went to make some passive, like, I taught it how to make electrical steel, for example. We're getting low on patterns, and I went to make myself a pattern. And I realized that if I want 10 more patterns, I need 10 more pure Certus quartz crystal, of which we don't have any. So that's bad news, and everybody's sad about that, so we're going to fix that today by teaching this thing how to make pure Certus quartz crystal. So what I'm going to get is a dropper from Actual Editions. So that doesn't seem too bad. I don't want this pattern thing, though. I want a dropper. And maybe at some point we'll automate these kinds of nifty things, but we'll get there. You are going to need you. Yeah, we're going to totally need to automate that thing too. For that, we will also need a dropper. So I'm thinking we might want to automate that as well at some point today, possibly. Maybe today's the day to automate that. And that guy can go chill in our, sub-basement as well. We could, maybe in this corner would be a cool place to put it. Like, we could have a dropper here that drops onto, like, a pressure plate, and then, item pickup and whatnot. That would be nifty. Yeah. That feels like the perfect place to put that, right in the corner of my automation room. So yeah, everything I go to craft at this point in the game, I really want to look into how am I going to make you behave yourself. And we'll put that there for now. I know it looks bad, but I really want to get like as much automation done because I feel like we're getting to the point where we're gonna have to start crafting large quantities of stuff, and for that to work out, which by the way, I want to get some of you and some sand. Let's just get some pure Certus because we're going to need some pure Certus. We're gonna need blank patterns here in like a minute, so let's get that cooking. So yeah, I just need to get as much auto crafting done as possible at this point, I feel like, is where I'm at. So let's get you in place. So, I just accidentally put my battery away. So if I want to make the dropper, which I'm going to make for this guy first, we're gonna need another ranged collector in a minute too. But to make that dropper, we're going to need 2 palace, right? And 1 redstone. So I don't know why I picked this up when I know I need to do stuff with it, but that's okay. I'm pretty sure he retains his settings. Cool. Give me that button back. Yay. Okay. So if we want a dropper, what I'm going to have to do is make one of you. And hopefully I've got the gold. Oh, I'm so close. Over to this machine. By the way, I think I did it between episodes. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I upgraded all these machines to have transform upgrades in them and gave them all some really good speed upgrades, so things just at least craft a lot better now. So much faster crafting. And I'm going to want to set up automation in that room pretty soon with Applied Energistics. I just haven't figured out how I'm going to do it. Do I want to move those machines into the basement and then run EU cabling to the basement? Or do I want to do something a little different? I haven't figured that out entirely yet, but we'll figure it out eventually. So the other thing we're going to want is a pressure plate. So let's get some wood and boop, boop that. We might need some conduit. And we've got 1 redstone conduit. Let's get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and some iron, which we're getting, I don't want to say low, but we don't have a ton of. Redstone conduit, is this the one that's silicon? Yeah, it is. There we go. I also threw octadic capacitors in those things downstairs so that they run faster when we're doing automation. So what we'll do is have this thingy here, which should automatically hook up to power, so we're cool. And we're going to basically need a NOT gate and detect items sitting on the ground somewhere. So what I'd like to see is maybe the Actually Additions dropper right here with the interface above it. Does that sound cool? Can I tell you to make an interface yet? Did I teach that part of the job? Yay, I can. Nice. Love it when that thing works out. So I should be able to just drop this dude right here, and we should see the channels thing bump up, right? Nice. And then you land right there. Now, the only thing is when you... yeah. So I could leave this on pulse mode. The only problem is he probably won't always pulse, because what will happen is multiple items might drop and it might not convert them all. And that would be bad, kind of. Let's try pulse and see how it goes, but we might need to change this up. In the past, I've done this with a NOT gate, but I just want to try doing something a little different. So let's get some glass. Let's chisel it up to look nice. You know, something nice and transparent and, you know, like we've been using all along. I like this one. And then we're going to want this ranged collector, and we're going to want redstone, and we're going to want red empowered Restonia crystals, which we don't have, but that's okay. So basically what I'm hoping is I can do something like that, and it would do that. I'm just hoping that if I request a large amount all at once, it like actually works. Not 100% sure. But in theory, I should be able to come over here and say 1 piece of redstone equals 1 Restonia crystal. And then we come over to here, and we're going to want... I forget if these things will automatically output to an adjacent interface type deal, but we'll find out. I'm going to put it right there. You should be able to collect this, so I'm going to whitelist what's allowed to get sucked into this thing. This thing, by the way, items that land on the ground, it sucks up. Even through blocks, and that's the best part of this machine. And then I don't think I can have you auto output, but what I can do is this. And say down, auto extract, and east, insert. Nice. So it'll just go into the ME interface, which doesn't matter which one it goes into. It'll make its way into the system. So now I pop this dude in here, and I should be able to say, give me Restonia crystals. I'm going to say 20. So yeah, that's what I was afraid would happen, is it would land once, it would pulse, but then it wouldn't keep pulsing. Right? So like, see? And it doesn't unpulse. It kind of works, but it also kind of doesn't, because it doesn't quite drop fast enough. I need it to drop faster, ultimately. I need it to drop like the whole stack at a time. Wonder if there's a better dropper that can do that. So quick question, can the entity reader read entities, as in item entities, or can it only read entities like mobs or whatever? It's a good question. So we're going to pop down an energy battery. We're going to pop down a variable store. You know what, I should probably swap them out. In fact, I should just put the energy battery like right here. That should be cool, because he'll get power, and we'll get our energy store there. That'll kind of all like, well, semi-hide. We'll like do that eventually. So can you like tell me what's there? If I were to, for the sake of argument, right? You're on pulse mode. So if I were to, for the sake of argument, put an item there, can you just detect that there's a number of like entities? Cobblestone. Ooh, that's cool. So what I could totally do, in fact, I don't want you there anymore. You're going to want to be a redstone writer then. Cool. And then we're going to want basically a variable store can go here, and maybe the energy battery can go here, and everybody lights up and is happy now. Cool. Okay, cool. So basically, all I want to do is grab a variable on entity and say, with our programmable logic dude, we're going to say, I'm going to want a variable for null, which I don't exactly know how to get. Item, double operator. So like a static null variable somewhere in here. Oh, is not null. Hey, that's cool. That's what I want. So I want a variable that says is not null. So wait, so if it is null, I want to emit a redstone signal, right? So if there's nothing there, I want to emit a redstone signal. So we want operator is null. This variable card there. So in theory, that's all I should have to do. So if I put into the variable store, I put this dude, and if I put this thing here, you're emitting a redstone signal. Right, because you're in pulse mode. Hold on, that's fine. That's fine, that's fine, that's what we wanted. That actually worked to test that that's working. That's cool. All right, so redstone torch, because you're in pulse mode, I want you to be in not pulse mode now, right? So that, now you're in deactivation mode, cool. So check this out. If I have done this correctly, watch what happens when I place redstone. Let's put 16 of them in here. Check this out. Detect the entities. Stop it. Oh, you're not working. Oh, dude, you totally did work. Nice. I don't know why it took so long to activate, but it's working, I think. And you got all the Restonia. I think that's working. I'll call that a win. How's that? Nice and compact, and a little bit of integrated dynamics fun, because I keep liking this mod, as you can tell. I hope I really like this mod. So I'm excited that I got to play with that a little bit again. Cool. So we got that going, right? And then we want to do Palest Lapis, which I don't think I have any more of, right? So I'm going to go make one real quick, and in theory this should work, because all it's detecting is that there's something there, right? So you should... Nice. Oh, right, and I need you to know that you're supposed to pick that up, so you're on the whitelist now. So I drop you on the ground, you're going to pick them up, poof, you're going to go into there, and now we can say, that is cool. That is very cool. So let's go down here real quick and grab those Certus that I made a minute ago, or more realistically, like 10 minutes ago. And we're going to use you to get more patterns, because we need more patterns. Missing glass. All right, so sand becomes glass. Do I really not have, like, any glass? All right, let's get chisel. Because this is probably technically faster than smelting it. Cool. Also, I don't have any more patterns. So let's get, like... Can I just have one pattern, please? Missing 4 glass. If I put 4 of you in here, will you recognize that? I don't think so, because I didn't have ore dictionarying on. Right. Alright, so... This is all in the name of making things more automated. Slowly but surely. Cool. So you can now become... Well, I'm going to do sand becomes glass. And then I'm going to drop this. I could have done this in the interface thing, but I want to do it in the right one. So I want to make sure it's this one. And now we know that's the right position for it. So now if I wanted patterns... times 10, you should have everything you need to do that. Sweet. Cool. All right, good deal. And then as that's crafting, I can start teaching it how this works. Nice. And then right in the interface guy here, I can put it in the same one that has this in it. Cool? Nice. So now let's make one more. I want to make coal becomes void. Do we have any voids? We have one more void, which is perfect, because then I can teach it. There with a... You should have made the other 9 patterns by now, and you did. So you go in there, and now you know how to make void thingies. Sweet. So now if I want to drop her again, which I do, we're going to want one of these. We're going to need the gold that I got over here. And again, we're going to need to hook up these machines for automation at some point soon, and I haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to do that. That should be cool. That should be cool. And I should be able to put in here and say, make me, is it middle click? Middle click crafts it. Even if you already have one, middle click will craft it. Cool. So now we've got 2 because it worked. Yay for automation. Automatic precision dropper. The other thing I want another is a ranged collector, which just needs a hopper. Needs a chest, needs this dude, and then you are going to be down here. I haven't figured out how I'm going to automate this, right? So like the advanced machine frame, poof. Should I somehow, I don't know if this thing can respond to redstone signals at all. There's a redstone signal inverter upgrade, but I don't know how or if it responds to redstone signals. I'm gonna have to look that up. It would be cool if I could like pulse a redstone signal and have it create one thing. I actually don't know if AE can be taught to do something like that, but that's an option. The other option is to like, I don't know, figure something else out. So let's put all this away, right? So now we're going to want another interface. Cool. So make that for me. The other thing I'm gonna want you to know is how to make Certus seeds, which is this. So give me 1 Certus dust, please, which shouldn't be too bad. So that yields that, and you're going to go into one of the molecular assemblers that, you know, that crafting dude, right? So now you know how to make Certus seeds. So if I say get 2 of those, it's 1 sand and 1 dust, and boom, we've got it. Sweet. And what I'm going to do is say that as a pattern like this, we're going to say 1 Certus seed yields 1 pure Certus. Cool. And we're going to do the same for Fluix. Do we have any Fluix? We have pure Fluix. All right. Let's teach you that U plus sand is a thing. And you can go into the molecular assembler. And I know I kind of said last episode I was going to not spend a whole episode doing this, but I'm really wanting to automate this. And then pure Fluix crystals is the same deal, right? We're going to put you back to this mode, and we're going to say that you equal one of those. And then finally, what I want to teach it is that quartz plus redstone plus charged Certus yields, let's get a charged Certus, a redstone, and a quartz. And just make that happen real quick. Cool. That's going to yield 2 of that. Cool. So those are the 3 recipes that we're going to put in our automatic precision dropper that are going to hang out right there. Sort of right there. Cool. And then we're going to want a ranged collector here as well. That if I could tap into an existing, that would be great. I think I can. Because I'm going to put in here a whitelisting. You're allowed to pick up pure Fluix crystal. You're allowed to pick up regular Fluix crystal and pure Certus quartz. Cool. So all you then need is an interface to chill right there on some cabling, which I should have some of at least a little bit. You know, technically you could go here, and that would be neat. And I know my basement looks a mess. Cool. All right. So all we got to do now is say that that's going to work, right? And you should be cool. I think that'll work. The other thing I might want to look at, can we get a wireless system for access to stuff? So if I could have a wireless terminal, I'd be really happy with that. Dense energy cell. I'm going to need... Can you not use pure Fluix for that? I guess not. So that's a bummer. So that, we've got ME terminal, wireless ME receiver. That doesn't seem too expensive. This is all standard recipe stuff here. And the wireless access point, standard recipe stuff here. So I could have a wireless terminal. Wireless booster doesn't seem too bad. Needs an ender pearl dust, but that's just ground up ender pearls. So that's easy, I think. In the macerator. Yeah, that'll work. Totally doable. Might want wireless access to stuff. But real quick, let's try getting Fluix crystals, right? So in theory, I should say, go ahead and give me 2 of these, and we should see them immediately show up. Yes? No. You know why? Because I forgot a step. They should be in here. They are. And then all we need to do is, just like before, I'm going to use an existing ME interface rather than making a new one. And we're going to set you to always extract and insert. And now... we should have pure Fluix crystals. Well, regular Fluix crystals. Nice. Cool. I like it. And if we want 2 of these, we have 2 Fluix seeds available. Hit start. And if we want 2 of these, we have 2 of these available. Hit start. We should be able to pop downstairs and see that they are sitting in that pool. And they totally are. Nice. And in a moment, we should see that we'll have 2 more of these. I'll come back in a minute to confirm. So 53 and 35. 55 and 37. Boom. Totally worked. Awesome. Love it. Automation is king. So I know I said I wasn't going to do a lot of like auto crafting type stuff, but this wasn't simply like hooking up an interface to a machine and it works. This was a bunch of more complex builds coming together for similar automation purposes, but hopefully it was entertaining or at least, you know, interesting to you guys. Because long story short, like that's different than like the auto crafting that I was doing before. It's like semi, you know, more intense, right? It's not just like put item in machine. It's like we integrated with this thing and those things. So we saw lots of new mechanics, which is kind of the reason I decided to do some of this on camera. You know what else I wanted to do? Get myself another farmer. Or at least another farming station. So we're going to want one of you. And we're going to want one of Z-Logic controller, 2 pulsating dudes. Pulse. No, we don't have any. So get me 2 ender pearls and 2 iron. because I sense little suspicion that I'm going to need more rubber soon. And I'd like to automate that if I may. So that's what I think I'm going to do. I also wouldn't mind fixing some of these semi-broken armor pieces, but we'll get around to that. So I'm making a farming station for the purposes of extracting rubber. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to get you converted into those, so that shouldn't be a big deal. And the Z-Logic, right, for farming is just going to require a head, 2 solarium, 2 silicon. I wouldn't mind teaching you how to make solarium because I sense I'll probably need that in the future as well. So let's get 1 set real quick. And at some point I should teach it how to make silicon because that's a long and complicated process that I want to get to automating. Right, so U plus U equals U. And that goes into the same machine that makes these guys. Cool. Nice. So if I requested a piece of solarium, we should get it. And while I'm waiting, I'll get the silicon, the head, and what was it? Just a piece of redstone. And there's my solarium. Cool. Sweet. 1 machine chassis, please. Thank you very much. For my farming station. Little known fact, or maybe not so little known. I don't know. I always kind of forget that this is a thing. And maybe you guys too. And maybe you guys didn't know this already. Or maybe you did. I don't know. We'll find out. But did you know that farming stations work with the ability to tree tap? So if we got that and some conduit. And the other thing I'd probably like to have, we've got that. Let's get a drawer. So I'll just need a chest, a drawer, and I think I'll get a void upgrade. Well, maybe I won't get a void upgrade. We'll let it back stuff and we'll see what happens. Does that sound cool? How are you guys? Can you get me... You've got some. Sweet. Good enough for now. So I think what I'm going to do is just kind of pop this dude right here. And remember, he has by default, like I think it's like 1, 2, 3. So he should be able to hit all these machines without doing too much. I'm just going to pop this dude in here. I'm going to lock you guys down so you're not allowed to do anything. And then we'll tap into some kind of power line, which I will hopefully find somewhere. That is Ender Energy Conduits. So I've kind of found a power line I can tap into. There should be something coming along here somewhere. Close. Right? So I should be able to hook into this dude. Nice! Hey, it broke it and it got sticky resin. Perfect. So that's kind of good news. What I'd like to have is the drawer, maybe like right here. All right, maybe not right there. That should be fine. Right, but we can run this dude semi-underground. We'll say insert dirt, dirt, no tree tap. I knew. Resin, beautiful. Let's get the key. So in theory now, I shouldn't have to come out here with tree taps that often. The only other thing I'm going to want to do is like, what if we just got a bunch of tree taps? And a chest. So let's get some... You sir need to have more wood. At some point I should hook these, you know, drawers up so that my system can see them. But for now... We'll do this. This is like kind of a dumb way to do it. Probably a little bit lazy. I'm not gonna lie. Could probably be done a lot better. But for now, why? Oh, okay. Let's... And at some point, you guys, mark my words, this is going to come back to bite me. And I'm going to say, why'd my system stop running? Extract on green always active, insert on brown for the tree tap panel. And that will go there. Just so I can open it. Cool. And you will be extract on brown always active, right? So I'll just stick a tree tap in there. And for now, it's all good, right? Automatic, lots of resin. We'll burn through those tree taps. And resin goes a long way. It really does, right? Like, it really goes a long way. So I can grab that stack, start processing it in my extractor, which is fast now because I've got 8x speed upgrades, and we've got automated resin. Because like I said, I suspect we'll need more in the future. Now, what do I want to do with automation in this room? Do I... so two options. One, we could automate it in this room, meaning that we would take our applied energistics, run cabling over here, throw some, you know, interfaces on all the machines that we need to automate. Like, we might need to automate the macerator and the metal former and the extractor and all that good stuff. Or do we move these machines down into, like, a third level basement? Or so, like, I kind of feel like I should move most of these machines, because we could recraft them all and then have a second set in that third level basement. But if our goal is to automate everything, I feel like keeping a set up here and then keeping a set down in that basement is kind of not worth doing, right? So I might wind up relocating stuff, because I mean, if we were, we'd want the upgrades to stay in place, because we want like on-demand crafting, and the faster they craft, the better. I don't want to wait a whole minute for, like, you know, a single operation, right? So we need transformers, we need power down there. Like, it would be a big hassle to move that downstairs kind of by itself. So debating if I want to, like, change up this room, because we are going to need to get into Tech Reborn, which needs RF. And if we did... So some of the machines seem to be multi-blocky in nature. So I think what I'm going to do is, between episodes here, I'm going to go into a single-player test world and learn Tech Reborn a little bit, because I don't really know it. I know it's semi-ish, like IC2 before it turned to experimental mode, I think, right? So I think at Reborn, like, there's the industrial centrifuge and alloy furnace. Like, these things are kind of, you know, similar, right? So we'll have to figure that out. We'll figure it out, though, between episodes. I think, though, that for now, it's wrapping up point, because I've gotten some good stuff done today. We automated resin, which will continue to run until it runs out of tree taps, which I'll just go make more. I'm not going to worry about automating that right this minute. We've automated a lot, so, like, if I wanted now to get, like, a bunch of cables, we should not have any complaints about, you know, available pure fluics, all that good stuff, right? It has to craft the Certus, it has to craft the sand, not a problem. So we'll let that go, and it should be fine. So for now, Darrell20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll come back next time and do some more crazy stuff along this line. And we've got a bunch of wool now, and you're out of shears. So we'll need to repair your shears or do something, right? But could make, like, dark shears empowered. That would be kind of cool. That would be kind of cool. Do I have any dark steel? Got one. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Darrell20 signing off. Take it easy.